Hello, everyone. Peace and blessings. Welcome to another episode of Aspire to Inspire, where we interview industry professionals. Today, I am so thrilled to be able to interview working actress Tracey Bonner. Let me listen and just state all her credits because it deserves to be read. She is a proud member of the Screen Actors Guild and Actors Equity Association, and some of her television and film credits include a Tubi original Girls Getaway Gone Wrong, feature horror film The Georgetown Project starring Russell Crowe, feature film Greenland starring Gerard Butler, Netflix series Black Lightning, Queen Sugar, Ozark, Being Mary Jane Star, The Quad, and oh, so much more. I am just honestly thrilled to be able to speak with this individual. I admire her. She's also appeared on season 2 of Netflix series Raising Dion. Honestly, her work is impeccable. Her credits are impeccable. And I'm just so thrilled to bring her to our virtual stage so you guys can get a gist of who she is and what she's about. Hi, Tracey. How are you doing today? Oh, wait, you're muted.
I'm muted. Hey.
How are you doing today?
I knew I was going to forget that. Thank you for having me.
Of
Thank you
course,
for
of
having me.
course. I'm here to help you in this whole tech thing. Listen, I got your back regardless. But
Thank
like
you.
I said before, I am honored to have you on here. Honestly, your credits speak for themselves about how dedicated you are to this craft and to this business. And I really look forward to hearing about your journey and how you got to where you are today. So we can start this interview with, without further ado.
Let's go. Let's
All
do it.
righty. Yeah, for sure. I ask all my guests this first question just to give us a gist of who you are and what you're about and what you do for a living. So please take the floor, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do. And, you can take it as far back as you want to.
Well, what's up, everybody? My name is Tracey Bonner. Yes, I am a professional working actor. I live in Atlanta, Georgia, by way of Chicago, Illinois. That's where I got my training and decided to move here. Oh, it'll be 9 years this month to pursue other careers. It really wasn't about my acting, actually. I moved here to be a teacher of all things. And then I was able to reboot my acting career. I don't know. I mean, really, I'm just really excited to be here and answer some of the questions that you have, so I can give you a little bit more so we can delve a little bit deeper about who I am.
Yeah, I got you. No worries, no worries. So, just to dive a little bit deeper about what you do, you are a
Yeah.
working actor in the
Mhm.
business. And I think a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions about what actors do in the business. It's no harm to their judgment, but if you could just share, in your opinion, some major misconceptions or the biggest misconception individuals have about the job of a working actor, please feel free to share.
Yeah, I think the biggest misconception is that we're famous. And that we have a lot of money, and I don't think they look at it as the same as their opportunities to work on their jobs and their careers. I tell people all the time, you don't see doctors or teachers or people just walking around saying, I'm a professional teacher. And so, for me, being a professional working actor is a blessing. It is a
Mm,
blessing. But it's my career. It's something that I take seriously. I think people think that we actors walk around and we're acting all the time. And
mm,
that's not the truth. We're human beings. We have regular lives. We want to be normal like everybody else. And so I think they think that I have access to Tyler Perry or, big name people. And I'm like, no, I still audition. Okay, like everybody else. And there are rooms that I haven't been in yet. But those are some of the misconceptions about us that,
mm.
we live these elaborate lives and we're sipping tea and eating crumpets with with Oprah Winfrey. And that is
Yeah.
not the
It's bizarre of how, you know, crazy, you post that you're on a project, right?
yeah.
And of course, people are like, oh my God, you on this. And people can come up with the craziest assumptions that you're living big or you live
Mhm.
in large and you have X, Y, and Z amount of money in your account. But at the bottom of it all, that's not why we do this. I mean, in
No.
a sense, it's obvious that you love what you do, hence why you wouldn't be doing it as long as you have been and been so dedicated towards it.
Yeah.
So, aside from all the judgments or assumptions people make, at the point of it all, we
Yeah.
love what we do. There's a lot of rejection that comes from it. However, it's rewarding to be able to play characters, be
Yeah.
vulnerable, and to touch other people with the projects or characters we put on our shoulders. For
Absolutely.
sure, for sure. And, just diving a little bit deeper on the projects that
Mhm.
you've worked on,
Mhm.
your range is across the spectrum. And it's so beautiful because I remember watching you on Greenland, starring alongside Gerard Butler. And it was just a really cool, awestruck moment when I reached out. And I was just like, she has such a familiar face. I've seen this before. And, it's really cool to meet with you. But I just wanted to say that. But
Yeah.
my real question for you is, out of all the roles you've played, has there
Mhm.
been a particular character that has really stuck home to you?
Yeah. Yes. One in particular is LaWanda White from Black Lightning. That was the role, that was the opportunity that kind of put me on this trajectory of I won't necessarily say climbing the ladder, but I it opened a lot of doors for me. It just gave me that opportunity to showcase my acting chops and work with one of my favorite directors that I had admired for many years, Scott, who was
Mm.
also an executive producer on the show. And I was a fan of his from theater. He directed some theater, so it just it opened up so many doors, and it kind of restored my faith in myself as an actor. I
Mm.
had a couple of experiences prior to that that were not so enjoyable, and I kind of questioned my acting ability
Yeah.
and whether or not I should continue acting. So that was the opportunity of a lifetime for me.
Mm.
Yeah.
And, while preparing for that character in a sense, how did you prepare to play such a well-known, I won't say well-known, but such a strong character? I remember, watching you on Black Lightning as well. You
Yeah.
had such a connecting character. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of people connected through you, and that's why, in a sense, as a viewer, I admire you as an actress. You were able to play such a well-grounded character with an overall objective of needing this and expecting this within, how the show was.
Yeah.
What was your where I'm getting at is, what was your preparation for that type of character? How do you approach that role in particular?
Y'all aren't going to believe this. I was in one of those moments where I was quitting acting, and my mom was going through her third bout of cancer, second bout of breast cancer. And I had already told my agent, I was like, look, if it's not life changing, if it's not career changing, don't send me any auditions. And I was very clear about that. I was in Tennessee with my mom, and I just was like, this is it. I'm not going to act anymore. And then my agent sent me an email and said, hey, I know you're with your mom, and I don't want to disturb you all. But I think this is a great opportunity for you. And if you decline it, I completely understand.
Mm.
And so I looked over it and I called my best friend and I was like, girl, I have an audition. I have to do this. Um, and so my preparation for it really, I didn't go deep. I didn't have to because I was with my mom.
Mm.
And I tapped into what it would be like for me to be, I'm not a mother. So for me to be a mom, to lose a child or have a child taken in that way, um, it just really touched me. So that was my preparation, just really substituting whatever I could to
Mm.
access who LaWanda really was. And that's really how it happened.
Yeah. And I ask that because everyone's process is different.
Yeah.
And I'm a strong believer in, your season is your season, and life experiences around you can really portray into characters that you audition
Mhm.
for, and they can project across the screen when you're performing it for television, and viewers can take it in and be like, wow, like she's really going through it, she really experienced X, Y, and Z, but all you did was substitute something that happened to you and was able to bring life into the character that you played, which
Yeah.
was awe-inspiring. I truly appreciate you talking about something like that. I really do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
inspired by my mom. So her
Yeah.
strength and resilience
Mm,
is what continues to motivate me. If anyone has ever dealt with someone going through cancer, I mean, it's tough to watch, but it is triumphant to watch when they get on the other side of it. Um,
mm,
and so you start to access their strength. I'm an empath, so I
mm.
took on a lot of my mom's strength during
Yeah,
that time. So yeah.
for sure. And with your credits of being just a wide range actor, you know, I'm pretty sure you've learned oh so much from being on set, working alongside the directors you dreamed to be, to work alongside with, actors that you've looked up to. What were some of the major lessons that you learned from your experience as a working actor, and how has those experience, inspire you to keep going and to continue to strive to whatever you desire to do with your career?
Um, I think the biggest lesson I've learned in this entire journey is to be true to myself. And I tell my students that all the time. Um, you have the ability to shape your career into what you want it to be. You don't have to say yes to everything. Um, you don't have to make yourself available to everything because everything might not be good for you. So uh, I say a lot of times I take from a chapter of Chadwick Boseman's book, and that is he was very specific about the kinds of roles he chose and the kinds of opportunities he chose. And so for me, that gave me strength in knowing that someone like him very early on in his career, because a lot of people say, oh, well, Tracy, you can do that now. You can turn things down now. No, I've been turning things down very early in my career because I knew how I wanted to be seen and how I wanted to resonate with the world. So, if anything that I've learned on set, be true to who you are, speak up. Don't be afraid to speak up. There's a way to speak up for yourself without being disrespectful, um, but being honest about what you need and what you want on set. Because I'm a human, just like everybody else. When they come to set, I desire to be treated like 1 through 5 on the call sheet. So those are the lessons that I've learned.
Well said. We all want to be treated like 1 through 5
Okay.
on said. And wow, really, I needed to hear that. The importance of not taking on everything that comes your way. And that can be, that can kind of turn an actor's head like, no, I should be working. Like I should be able to do these jobs no matter where they are. But you created a border for yourself like, hey, if I deny this, something else bigger or greater will come towards me in due time. And I think that's such a major thing for actors, but just in life, don't take the first opportunity that comes to you. If it wasn't for you, it's not for you. And if it's not for you during that time, something greater will come in the future. So that's what I love about this platform, sharing stories like this and bits of advice that not everyone really tells you about, but keeping it real and keeping it 100. And I appreciate that. I truly do.
Yeah. Well, burnout is a real thing. So if you're
Mm,
accepting everything and every role and it's not edifying to you, it's not feeding you, you're putting a lot of yourself into this. So you're depleting yourself. So when that opportunity or that role comes,
Yeah.
you're burnt out. You don't have as much of you to give. And so I want all actors to preserve themselves. Be
Mm,
choosy. Be choosy. It's okay. It's not you being bougie. It's not you thinking you're better than anyone else, but it's you really shaping the kind of career that you want.
mm. Well said. Well said. I appreciate that. And please correct me if I'm wrong. You're an acting coach, correct?
Sometimes
I
I
do.
I'm a teacher by actually profession. I was certified to teach K-12 for about
Okay.
15 years. And then I started my own audition taping service. So that's where I provide a lot of my coaching. Uh,
Mm,
and then I also teach at the University of Wisconsin. I've taught at Roosevelt University, DePaul University, a couple other places, Congo Square Theater Company, and Kenny Leon's True Colors, where I'm a teaching artist. So those
mhm.
are opportunities for me to coach and offer up some of my educational gifts there. But yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And do you mind me asking how long have you been providing this type of service? For viewers watching, this is a great opportunity. That's all I'm going to
Well,
say.
here in Atlanta, we've been self-taping since I moved here. So it's
For
about
sure.
2013, 2014, that was a thing. It wasn't a thing for me. I had to learn it.
Yeah.
But I turned it into a business. It's 22, maybe 2018.
Okay.
Uh, I started self-taping all of my friends, and I really began to enjoy it. Just giving them little tips and tweaking their auditions here and there. And when I see things on the page visually, they come to life for me. So I was able to give them just some tools to kind of enhance their auditions. Yeah.
Right, right. And it's so funny. I could tell you were a teacher or a coach in a sense just by the advice and inspiration that you shared at the very beginning. So I had to ask. I had to ask. But I think that's a beautiful thing how you decided to create a business doing what you love. But not only is it just for you in a sense, you're being of service to other people, sharing bits and advice and just tidbits of how a scene can go, how self tapes can be set up, things along those lines. So you provide services in Atlanta. Atlanta folks watching this, connect with her. I'm sure she'll tidy up your self tapes in any way, shape, or form. Listen, I
Absolutely.
love that. I love that. And just diving a little bit deeper into these questions and the roles you've been playing, the projects you've been a part of so far, a lot of people have a hard time dealing with rejection. It's a
Yeah.
hard thing. Everyone goes through it, and
Mhm.
everyone handles it in different ways. So, just a little bit of advice and encouragement for actors who may be watching this and they've been going through a season of no's and they kind of don't see that light at the end or that opportunity coming to them in the season that they're in. Do you have any advice for beginning actors who are getting into this industry, experiencing no's, and
Mhm.
just, kind of have a flat line with the career path that they chose? And if you could share a little advice, that'd be greatly appreciated.
Well, I always tell people when they want to become an actor or they're newly starting into acting, I ask them, why are you wanting to be in this career field? Because it is a career field full of no's, right? And so we live in a society now where everything is instant. We want it right away. And when you don't get that instant gratification, we quit. So, what I would say to new, young, even old actors who are still going through this industry and you're getting those no's, that's exactly what's supposed to happen. It's supposed to shape you as an artist. We are the one career field where you're told no a lot, you know? And so I think for me, getting all the rejection, I used to cry all the time after I got rejected, and I used to do a self-loathing thing. But now, through some counseling and some maturity, I realize Each opportunity I have to audition is an opportunity for me to gain a fan in my casting directors, in producers, in directors. Those are opportunities for us to gain fans. I'll tell you a story. I have a client who has been in Atlanta for about 3 years, and he just got his first opportunity as a guest star, episodes on a TV show. And I watched him give his all to every single audition. He was always positive. He would just say, I just need this one opportunity. And so if you take that mentality, every audition is an opportunity to win a fan. I think you're going to be okay. And it's okay to get rejected. It's okay to fail, but fail forward. Keep going. Don't quit.
Yes, that we could end the interview right there. Honestly. But it's so much truth behind what you're saying, because failure is one thing, rejection is another thing, and they both are some similar things. However,
Mhm.
it's based off of that positive mindset of
Yeah.
it's only one yes away, or it's just one more opportunity. I like how you said, to gain a fan, to gain
Yeah.
someone else to see my work and be like, hey, okay, they may not be fit for this role, but maybe, because casting directors can remember your work and they can see you for something else that could help you along, further down the line. But I really appreciate you sharing that story. And a lot of people or viewers watching this could really like find themselves in that, behind that, being in no for so long and just waiting for that one yes. And it takes time. All great things take time.
Oh, absolutely. I don't believe in, like I said, if you get it too quickly, you might not know what to do with it.
Mm,
So enjoy the journey that you're on and take each audition opportunity, whatever, as an opportunity to grow. That's what
yes.
we're supposed to grow. We're not supposed to remain the same throughout this process. And you'll find out more about yourself.
Mm,
Self-actualization as an actor, that's huge. Once you find out who you are and what you like and what kind of roles resonate with you, that takes time. And you're going to get some auditions that you don't necessarily like, but this casting director is calling you in. So you're like, okay, let me just try it. Let me try it. It might not resonate with me right now, but again, I'll turn it down. I'll say no. but what I'm saying is continue to audition. Yeah.
for sure. That's
Yeah.
great advice. Continue regardless of, you know, wherever season you're in. Audition,
Yeah,
audition, audition. Someone will see your work for sure.
absolutely.
And just continuing on from the whole audition process and, rejection and being in your season of no.
Yeah,
Um, we as creatives, I don't really like to table us as actors, because that's at the point of it all. We're all creatives and artists. We all have
absolutely.
people we look up to, people we admire. Earlier, you touched on your mother, which honestly
Mhm.
is the best form of inspiration and motivation and a role model anyone could ever have, is a mother figure or a father figure
Yeah,
or family, at the point of it all. But
absolutely.
within the industry, if you would like to share, people you admire, whether that's an actor, a director, someone you look up to, someone's career you would like to emulate in a sense, who inspires you?
Well, honestly, my peers inspire me.
Mm,
I am inspired by and mentored by Morocco Amari. Um, he's on P Valley right now. He's been on Empire. I became really good friends with Will Catlett from Black Lightning and Love Is and True Story. My best friend, I call her Charmaine, but her name is Ty Davis on The Shy. Tamberla Perry, Cynthia K. McWilliams, like I got to watch their journeys, as artists. And I watched their struggles. I watched their highs and lows in this industry. um, and to see the resilience and their ability to kind of navigate through the swamp of what could be negative, you know. I was able to watch that. So that's inspiring to me. They motivate me. You know, people who I have access to on a regular basis. I mean, the list goes on and on. Miji Oluwumi is a voiceover artist and actor who I call all the time. I'm like, yo, I need your help. I need your advice on this. Wendell Etherly is a great writer that I really adore. Darren Kennedy. I mean, it's just a lot of people. My ensemble at Congo Square Theater Company, I got to big up them. They inspire me too. They're constantly creating. They're doing stage, TV, and film. You know, and those are my artists. But if I had to pick a famous person that I'm inspired by, it would have to be Debbie Allen, because you know she could do everything. She could sing, she
Right.
could dance, she could act, and she's a director and
Yes.
producer. You know, it's like it's nothing this woman cannot do. And of course, her sister Felicia Rashad. So it's just again,
Hmm.
my peers inspire and motivate me. I gotta give them big ups because they're still in it. Um, they're still auditioning like crazy. They're still trying to win fans um, in the room, but they're humble. You know, and I like humility. Jeanne Jay is another actress that she's younger than me, but I adore her. Alexis Louder, who was on Cop Shop. I'm sorry, I got a lot
No.
of inspirations. They're just coming to me, but Alexis Louder, she's a younger actress. Danielle Deadweiler, oh my gosh, inspired by her. I used to tape her. And I remember she would come, she was doing theater at the Alliance Theater, and she would come to my house 10:30, 11 o'clock and do her auditions for TV and film. And that baby had written all of her lines
Wow.
and the other actors' lines. And all while doing theater at night. I was like, this child is, I mean, the list goes on and on. I can,
Right.
Tinashe say, Keith Arthur Bolden, Tanya Jackson, Enid King, Cynthia Barker. I mean, it's so many artists that I just really admire and
Yeah.
again, get my inspiration from.
Mm. And it's a beautiful thing to give props to those who've been built around you and who are
Yeah,
still around you. That
yeah,
community that you have is it's a beautiful thing because you're watching them grow and you're growing alongside of them too. You know,
yeah,
there's a saying that, when you're in a community of people who support one another and show humility and are in the business or doing what they love, it's only a certain amount of time till the next one in the group gets the opportunity, and then there'll be the next one. So it's like a being of service while helping each other grow.
yeah,
And a lot of actors, and we tend sometimes to keep it all to ourselves and not share what's happening, or sharing the advice that you could help someone else who may lack that certain amount of knowledge, in a sense.
yeah,
So it's beautiful that you're in a community of, I don't want to say winners, but people who are not only winning, but helping you along the way too. And
yeah.
you're winning as well in helping other people. You're sharing your story here with me. That's going to help someone who's watching this. So it's
Yeah,
a service.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
Please do.
I have a really good friend, Glenn Davis. I have to big him up. He is the co-artistic director at Steppenwolf Theater out in Chicago. He's one of my biggest cheerleaders, supporters, and also one of my peers that, man, his calm, cool, collected attitude. He keeps me grounded in a sense. Like, it's great to have artist friends around you that you don't have to talk about acting with.
Right.
You can who really call you and say, "How's your mama? How's your heart? How you do?" Like those are artists that you want to have around you. I
Mhm.
wanted to make sure that I was not just around people who were so consumed by the industry, because again,
Mm.
I'm an empath. and I take on their energies. And so I wanted to make sure that I was around well-rounded individuals too, you know?
Mm,
Yeah,
I do. I do. And thank you for sharing that, because this career can be such, I don't want to say a letdown, but it can be heavy on our shoulders to the point in which we consume ourselves so much with this that we're so anxious for the next thing that we lose ourselves in the moment. We forget,
absolutely.
like, how are we mentally feeling? How are we physically feeling? How are we,
Absolutely.
how are we treating people around us? Just because we are waiting for our next moment, we may show some form of animosity to other people who don't deserve it. And that energy can be, transferred and exchanged and be questioned in a sense. So,
Absolutely. And
yeah.
as actors, we should be open and willing to celebrate others when they
Yes.
win. You get positive energy back. I went out to New York in November to see one of my clients and now really good friend of mine, Maisha McQueen, do her Broadway debut. Like, you gotta support that. You know what I'm saying? You have to, because I got to watch all the auditions and countless hours of work that she put in. I mean, she had been doing Broadway tours, but she was on the great, Broadway in New York.
Right.
Um, and so that was just so exciting to take my mom to show her, look, I'm around people who are grinding, who are working, artists and creatives who give everything. They put everything on the stage. So we got to be able to celebrate each other,
Mm.
in our careers. Because that's how you get inspired. You celebrate, they celebrate you, it's a transference of good energy.
Sure is. And today on this platform, we are celebrating you and your success and your journey and
Thank
your
you.
story.
Thank
Of
you.
course. But transitioning from, that question in particular, I always ask my guests these following questions. It's beautiful to know and to dream and to envision yourself to where you want to be. It's fun at the point of it all. We get to imagine the type of careers we want, and we get to play the type of characters that we desire to play. So
Mhm.
I ask you, with the entertainment industry changing constantly all the time, and being a creative like yourself, where do you desire to see yourself 5 to 10 years down the line?
I'm going to be a director. It,
Yeah.
it's very evident for me when I work with my clients. Uh, I work with my clients, and I'm directing in a sense. I had a client the other day, Nafisa Williams. I love her. She was like, "You're a
Oh,
director."
I love
Oh yeah,
Nafisa.
she's amazing. She was like, "You're a director. You know that?" And I'm like, I am a director. So I would love to um, eventually shadow. It's a couple of directors that I really, really admire their work. Mo Marable is one. Darren Grant is a director that I really admire. So I would love Norm Buckley. I would love to just shadow those three directors and just sit at their feet and get all of the knowledge I possibly could.
Mm,
Because that's where I do see myself in the future. And of
yeah.
course, still, still acting. I would love to still act, but I would love to be on like a long running show,
Mm,
where I'm a character, I'm settled somewhere in Atlanta somewhere, just one space, one character to focus on and doing some good work.
mm. A question just popped into my head. You speaking on the fact that you desire to be on a running show, playing that one character, focusing your time and energy on that. What's your dream role, quote unquote, so to say?
I mean, I would love to be on a sitcom. I mean, I do. I grew up watching, Family Matters and The Cosby
Yeah.
Show, a World, and I just wanted to Fresh Prince and Martin, and
Okay.
I just wanted to be like I wanted to be these people when I
Right.
grew up. So I would love to be a Claire Huxtable type,
Mm,
a mom who is assertive and knows herself, and she's strong, but she's also submissive and funny, and just I would love to do that, or be a detective. Now I love playing detectives. Now I would love to be a detective on a show like Law and Order. you know
Ooh, yes,
um, we don't see a lot of Black women playing those roles. I think we're starting to see a little
yeah,
more,
for
but
sure. I
I
agree.
would definitely love to be a
Mm.
detective on a show.
Yeah, and the importance of representation, especially now, like you said, we're seeing a little bit of it.
Yeah,
But, to I don't want to say carry that weight on your shoulders, but wanting to play those type of characters and knowing that it needs to be seen or it needs to be shown so young individuals, not even just young, all types of individuals can see that any race can play any
yeah.
character, or the characters that we see so much, other races can play them as well.
Oh,
So,
absolutely, absolutely. Growing up for me, I didn't see a lot of people ask me, when did you want to be an actor? And it wasn't until later, I was like 23, 24, when I was like, okay, I want to do this for a living.
mm,
Because as a kid, I didn't think it was a real tangible thing. Um,
yeah.
I, I, I grew up in Tennessee, small town in Tennessee, and I didn't see a lot of Black people on TV. So I was like, you got to live in Hollywood or New York. That's it. And I'm never going there. And so that's why I do believe representation is so important. So that young girl in that small town who doesn't think it's realistic to go pursue her dreams can see, oh, yeah, it can happen. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a reward within itself when you're able to play that and be a form of representation for others to see. That's a different type of joy or different
Yeah,
type of happiness that
absolutely.
we as actors can hold, with characters that we play and how we portray ourselves on film and television. I
That's
love
right.
that. I love that. And honestly, I'm wrapping up our interview here with my very last question for you. I truly enjoyed talking with you. You are a light and an inspiration. And y'all, we just met, never met her before, but her energy is true. And I love that. I love that.
Thank
I ask, oh, of course, anytime, anytime. I ask my guests this question all the time. It's kind of last bit of inspiration and advice you would like to share for viewers watching, you can take the
you.
floor. But the question is, how do you desire to use your platform to inspire viewers watching you, people who come across your path, people who see you on TV? How do you desire to use your platform to inspire all these individuals and others around you?
Great question. I want to use my platform to inspire people by being honest, showing the good, the bad, the ugly, the great, the amazing. Being a woman of good character. I want people to see me on Instagram or wherever I am, and know that that's who I am when I leave the room. You know, I want to be authentic. I want people to see themselves in me. And so that I'm going to continue to use my platforms to, of course, promote my acting and all of my other endeavors. But a lot of people don't know I love philanthropy. I love giving back. I have my own nonprofit, and every year we give back to homeless mothers and their babies, diapers, pull-ups, wipes, car seats for those who have cars and strollers so they can transport their babies around. I partnered with the Atlanta Mission for the past 4 years, and it has been an amazing campaign for me because it helped me to kind of get outside of this career. I was more consumed by me. So it helped me to get outside of that. And I would encourage everyone, find an organization that you can give your time, your energy, your talents, your gifts to. Because once you do that, you'll be fulfilled. So that's what I want. I want people to see my heart. I want people to laugh and have all kinds of joy and just be inspired and empowered. Boom.
Boom. That's all I have to say. Goodness gracious. Wow. It's, it's it's one thing to meet someone, you know, via social media, and it's so funny. I stumbled across your page, and without even realizing that I've seen you on television so many times.
Oh,
Stepping back,
wow.
like she bodied that character. Sheesh, oh my goodness, she did so good. And now speaking with you, it's a totally different experience. And I could say thank you a million times. I have a tendency to do that, but I'm just a thankful person to have you on this platform and to create something to hear from people like you. It's humbling, it's amazing, and oh man, you've shared so much during this interview, and I can't say nothing else but thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, and thank you for having me. I appreciate you. You are so sweet and kind, and I just pray God's blessings on your life. You are a light, and what you're doing is giving back
Mm,
to our community,
yeah.
of artists, of creatives. So you continue doing what you're doing. God is gonna bless you immensely. So
Oh,
thank you for having me. I did want to shout out my reps. I want to
yes.
shout out my reps. I have to shout out Stewart Talent Atlanta, Stewart Talent Chicago, Jackson Entertainment out in LA, Stewart Talent LA, and my voiceover reps, Grossman Jack Talent out in Chicago. Um,
Mm.
I appreciate all that they do for me.
For sure, for sure. It's beautiful that you gave them a shout out. Not a lot of people do that, and that's a humbling thing. That's very humbling. But
Oh,
for our
without
viewers, yeah, who are watching this, oh my goodness, thank you so much for watching. This has been a humbling experience. I love her energy, guys. I truly do. But as you guys all know, more interviews will be coming soon from industry professionals. And until then, peace and blessings to you all. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you. Bye.